This podcast contains explicit content.
Good evening, cowards.
This podcast is hardly focused.
Oh my God. No.
Dissecting the news, one tangent at a time.
We all have ADHD and anything else would be boring as hell.
Everybody, welcome to Hardly Focused. We're at hardlyfocused.com or on your favorite podcast app. We are on YouTube. We are presented by the Solid Listen Podcasts Network. My name is Jack, and Nicole Mossy is here. Hello, Nicole.
Hello. How's it going?
So you have a pretty rockin' haircut for anyone that can see it. And
Thank you.
And I am wearing a shirt, a plaid button-up shirt that I don't know if you noticed, but it's like it's mismatched. It's not level, and
Oh my God, you shouldn't have mentioned that.
it's gonna bother you now.
Oh no, that's all I'm gonna see. I was gonna say, I'm like, it's a nice shirt. It looks really good.
It is a really nice shirt, and it's very comfortable.
Gosh.
And it's just the way. And now I understand why I got this on discount. It's been driving me nuts, but I don't want to take it off. But it's just the way it was designed. The plaid, half as you're buttoning it up, halfway up, all of a sudden the plaid just decides to just go in its own direction, and it's just
doing its own thing.
It's just the way it was printed, and yeah. So I wanted to get that out of the way now because anyone that watches the video version of this show is going to probably noticed that, and I just feel the need to address it and say deal with it because it's a comfortable shirt and I'm probably going to wear it again. It's not a deal breaker.
Oh goodness. The first comment is going to be like, the shirt.
Literally unwatchable.
Just pin that comment. Just pin it.
I'll pin it. Well, on that note, we were catching up a lot before we hit the record button, and I told you to save this for the recording, but you, Nicole, took a Waymo. Was that your first time taking a Waymo?
It was. I was very nervous. We see them a lot in Austin, and I just had a little errand to run right down the street. So I figured it wasn't going to be a big deal. I wasn't going on any highways or anything. And my roommate had taken one before. So I was like, all right, let's give it a shot. So I had toggled the Waymo thing in the Uber app, and I was going to my nail appointment yesterday, and I got matched with a Waymo. And I didn't know those were Jaguars, first of all.
Are they all?
I got to sit in a Jag.
Are they all Jags, or did you just luck out and get one?
I don't know, but mine was a Jag, and it was very lovely. I will say, though, it got a little confused. I live on a cul-de-sac, so I selected where it would pick me up, and I waited on the curb for it, and it just kind of, slowly started, just slowed down. So I started going up to the car, drove away a little bit. I was like, all right, I follow the car, it drives away a little bit. So I'm walking around my cul-de-sac following this Waymo. It eventually stops, and I can get in. But it was lovely. It was playing ambient vibes. The air conditioning was set perfectly. It was very clean. It gave great instructions on how to deal with, if you want to change the music, when you want to get out of the car, how you have to you have to move the handle twice. It warns you before you're about to be dropped off. It was very careful and cautious on the road as well. Which I appreciated. And it was great. It was a great experience. I didn't have to tip. I actually passed another Waymo on my way to the appointment. They are all in my neighborhood.
Do they beep at each other when they drive by, or flash lights or something?
They don't do anything. I was trying to look and see if someone was in there. I was looking at everyone as I was passing, because some people still turn their heads. I know I do when I'm walking and I see one of those go by, because they're so goofy looking. So
so they don't just look like normal cars on the outside. Do they have
No, they've got all sorts of gear on the outside. So they have this they look so goofy. They have this thing on top. It's all of the sensors, right? Yeah. So they've got stuff on the sides. They've got something on the hood that just kind of spins. But other than that, they look like a normal car. They just have some like accessories on it. But the big thing with the electronic vehicles that's been messing me up is the sound. I grew up knowing what a car sounded like. So when I walk on a road, I know where a car is. With the EVs, I have no idea. It sounds like a UFO. So I'm like, what is this noise? Oh, it's an electronic vehicle. That
so
may just be
quiet.
me being old. They're so quiet and they just sound so weird. So I'm like, what is that? And I don't expect it to be a huge vehicle.
Yeah.
So I'm still not really assessing the danger properly. So look both ways when you cross the street because electronic vehicles, EVs, are very quiet. But yeah, the Waymo was great. And I had another appointment after that. And I almost got matched with another Waymo, but I didn't have the time to wait. So I was like, no, give me a person because they'll drive more recklessly.
And you didn't want to have them do the, dangle a dollar bill in front of you and then drive ahead 2 feet and then stop and do it again. And
I feel like someone was messing with me. I was like, what is happening? Like, surely it knows by the distance to my phone, right? The proximity to my phone where I am. And it just kept like faking me out. It took me like a solid minute to get into the car.
I'm glad you were safe with that. I feel like that's something I can't quite trust just yet. And I hear about them not getting into like accidents, but just doing,
being goofy.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny because I was so against it originally, but I see them so often. I got so curious. And when I saw them, they were doing pretty all right. So I was like, oh, I'll give it a shot. And I like it. It was weird at first, but after about 30 seconds, it was comfortable. It was a lot more cautious than people drivers.
There was a "that's what she said" in there.
Oh my God. I missed it. Uh-oh.
Well,
Second comment will be this lady's oblivious.
Yep.
Yes.
Oblivious or oblivion.
Uh-oh.
See what I did there? I'm gonna talk
I
about that.
do.
Talk about that in a minute. And later in the episode, we'll talk about Fyre Fest, the sequel, Fyre Fest 2, Electric Boogaloo.
Electric Boogaloo. I was just going to say that.
But well, I'm glad your experience with the Waymo was a success. And now, is that something to have a lot of in Austin? Because I don't think we have that up in Boston, or if we do, you never hear about it.
I see it a lot down here. I don't know if it's restricted to certain neighborhoods, but I've even seen them downtown. I don't know if I would take one downtown just yet. I don't know if I'd trust it. Gosh, I wouldn't take it on 35 with all of the construction. That's just a bad stretch of road. But for like a little, errand down the street, I felt pretty comfortable with it.
Wow, they are. So it seems like maybe this isn't limited, but limited to these brands, but Stellantis, Mercedes, Jaguar, and Volvo are like the Waymo cars. Yeah. So
Ooh, I got lucky. I got the Jag, baby.
You did.
What's up?
Okay. Areas served, according to the Wikipedia, is Phoenix, San Francisco, Silicon Valley, Los Angeles, Austin, Miami, and Tokyo, but those two are private testing only. I don't know what that means.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, so we don't have those in Boston yet. And Boston, I imagine, will probably be one of the last places where it will get rolled out because you lived up here. You know what the roads are like up here.
You kidding me? Although I might trust a computer more than a person. Those roads are... I remember trying to drive on those roads. If there are a couple of poor drivers like me on there, throw it to the computers.
Yep. Yeah, I avoid it. I try to avoid it like the plague.
The one ways...
I try.
Forget about it.
Yeah, I've done it. I did it. I think I was 19 years old, and I was doing it in a stick shift during afternoon rush hour, and I somehow survived. I lived to tell a tale, but
I'm glad.
But never again.
Were there any fatalities though? Did the other people survive as well?
That I don't know about, and maybe I am better off not knowing a thing.
No
about
comment.
It.
No comment.
No comment. Yeah, talk to my lawyer.
Put it. Yeah.
Well, I was down in Florida recently, and Cybertrucks everywhere down there.
Same here. Same here. A lot in Austin.
You know what it is? It's just the climate. It's just because I feel like you're only going to see them really in places where people are more aligned to that side of things, if you will.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Have something to flaunt or feel like they need to flaunt. I've turned the punch buggy game back when we were kids. You see a buggy, you punch whoever you're in the car with, say punch buggy, there it is.
Yep.
We do that with Cybertrucks now.
Nice.
So whenever we see a Cybertruck, we're like, one time, I got him good. We passed a truck or a trailer that had 3 of them.
Oh yeah, they're just dislocating shoulders at that point.
Oh yeah, and he was the driver too, so you can tell how much I care about safety.
Sure. Can't do that to a Waymo. I mean, you could.
You're right. I wouldn't want to. There's cameras all in that thing.
Have you played Cyberpunk 2077?
I still haven't.
Okay.
I don't know why. Probably because my PC needs to be upgraded desperately.
I didn't upgrade my PC because of that game, but when it came out, it was around the time that I upgraded my computer to its current build, and a lot of that was fueled by wanting to be able to play Cyberpunk and have it be somewhat stable. And
yeah,
I've learned, especially after recently upgrading my video card, it's never going to be 100%, but it's the best I'm going to get right now. The game's also so much better than it was when it launched. I've put like 200 hours into it now too.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like I looked at Steam. It's either a blessing or a curse that they tell you this stuff.
Yeah, I'm like, don't tell me.
200 something hours in Cyberpunk.
I don't want to know.
And that was before finally starting the DLC recently, so that was another 20 hours right there. But there's a whole thing that I would say is inspired. It was probably inspired by Waymo, where self-driving vehicles that have their own AI with their own personalities, and you I
don't want that.
Several side missions in the game involve helping out the AI. And helping it as it becomes sentient.
See, I don't listen. I just want the car to drive me. The bonus of the Waymo was I didn't have to talk to anyone. There was no personality. It was just a car. That's what I liked about it. Don't give the car a personality.
That's like taking, because I take a lot of Ubers, and 9 times out of 10. I get a driver that's just like, you can tell, like, you can either talk with them or you don't have to. And some of them will even go so far as to like have signs up in their car saying like, look, if you want to chat,
I love that.
We can chat. If you don't want to chat, that's also fine. And then every once in a while, I get the driver that wants to talk to me, and maybe I'm not in the mood for talking. Maybe I just don't want to have a conversation, or God forbid, I'm with a bunch of people, because that happened recently. It wasn't just me getting the Uber. It was me and a group of people, and it was all people that like I personally hadn't seen in a very long time, and I want to catch up with them. And meanwhile,
you're chatting.
Yeah, and meanwhile, I got this
peanut gallery.
Yeah, over here, like talking at me, like giving me a history lesson about the area that I'm in, and I'm like having two conversations at once, and I'm trying to be polite, but in the back of my mind, I'm like, dude, you're driving like a maniac. I don't know how you have 5 stars.
Pay attention to the road, not our conversation.
Right.
Which, I sound so mean even just saying that, because like that's in person, and everyone's valuable. And I'm not saying like, don't talk to me, the help, like I'm not trying to be elitist or anything, but like read the room.
Right.
Read the car.
Yeah. He was a former cross-country truck driver, so he you could tell he was driving like he was a cross-country truck driver and speaking like one too. And someone in the car is from Ann Arbor, Michigan, so now, and this dude is like fully familiar with the area, so now they're having a conversation about that, and he's talking about his not only living there, but like passing through there on his route, this, that, and the other thing. And
you take this road, you do this. It's like, we're not in Michigan.
We're not. No, we're far from it. We are far from it. It was still around that time. Now this is like 3 weeks ago, but it was still, still very cold up there because they're their weather stays cold until probably about May, I would guess.
Yeah.
So
How is it up there now?
I imagine
Up where you are, I mean.
Up here, it's great. Oh, it was wonderful. It was like in the 70s today. It's 61 degrees F right now.
Nice.
It's gonna
nice.
be about that tomorrow. It's finally warming up here. When I got home from Florida a couple of weeks ago, I left and it was like 80 degrees, not a cloud in the sky. And we arrived and it had just snowed. It was,
oh no.
It was plowable snow and it was the middle of April.
Yeah, that was wild to see that. I was going to the Ren Fair and it was like 85 degrees here. And I was like, oh shit, Massachusetts got snow.
Yeah, we suck. But it's gone now. The grass is grown in. It'll be time to start cutting that.
Yeah.
I took a walk today. It was nice. It's that perfect. It's that perfect weather where it's like you can go for a brisk walk, and you're not like sweating when you get back.
We've passed that. We had, I think, a week of that, and now it's just ball sweat.
Nicole's balls.
I used to think my balls are sweating. I grew up in Massachusetts. I thought I don't sweat. I'm not a sweaty person. I've never sweat. Are you writing that down?
I'm not. No, keep going. It's fine. Okay. You didn't see anything.
And man, down here, the ball sweat is intense. I
would hate that.
Dude, it's wild.
I talked in the last episode with Mike about how Florida is a bit brainwashing when I'm there because I make fun of Florida man all the time.
Naturally,
I am not anywhere close to that side of politics. Even though where I typically go in Florida is more I guess liberal compared to other places in Florida, Miami especially, for example.
Yeah.
But it's brainwashing when you're down there because of the weather. And the weather, it's really the weather. I mean, there's amenities everywhere as well. A lot of things that could entice one to want to live there. And I understand why people do that. But the weather, I take that over what, we have in New England, had in New England, and it could still have because you never know what's going to happen.
Right.
But
it could be the new Miami.
But again, going back to ball sweat though, because I'm a bit of a clean freak. I don't know if you remember that. I'm a little bit of a clean freak and sweat.
It just doesn't feel good.
It doesn't. No,
it feels icky. Even though you're clean, even though you're like, I'm good. But even still, you just feel gross.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wouldn't be able to do that. I don't know if I could. I don't know if I could live like that and just knowing that it's like that.
That's just how it is. That's why I cut my hair. I'm like, get this off my neck. I can't handle it.
But it looks nice though. And
thank you.
I'm a sucker for the bob, so I'd say good job.
Thank you. I think they're kind of like, I don't want to say coming back, but I think they're kind of stylish right now. I don't know.
Yeah,
I think it's.
We don't move forward, you see. We have to rehash everything. We
just recycle it.
We do because we got 28 Years Later coming out very soon. That's not that's a sequel, and we've got a sequel / reboot of I Know What You Did Last Summer, which the trailer came out for that I think either yesterday or today, and holy crap, is it just the stupidest thing I've ever seen. I love it. Same with it. There's a new Final Destination coming out. Like we don't have anything that's really there's nothing original coming out. It's all rehashes. And then we have Oblivion.
Yes.
Elder Scrolls 4.
Although I haven't played it, but I'm excited.
I'm in that boat with you because somehow according to Steam, going back to Steam says I put in 40 hours, and I don't know how because in the original release. I don't know how because I don't remember anything beyond going to Kvatch, which is like the second mission in the game. Like it's very early on in the game, and I don't.
So how did that take 40 hours?
Right? Yeah, just exploring.
Get good, scrub. What are you doing?
That's
taking 40 hours to get 2 quests in. What's going on?
That's really it.
Fake gamer.
Because all of my attempts at trying to play Oblivion Playing it on PC, my computer just makes weird noises, and I don't trust it, so I don't play the PC version anymore. And a couple years ago, I fired it up on Xbox. Advantage being because I like playing with a controller even on PC.
Yeah,
and
some games just feel better.
Well, this game is so old. I mean, it came out in 2006. It's on controller support, and I'm such a stuck up bitch about it. I'm like, all right, I'll play it on Xbox then. And in the year of our Lord 2006, we did not have autosave. And unlike the Fallout games, unlike Skyrim, when you would go in and out of buildings, the game didn't autosave. And the only time it really, I believe it autosaves is when you leave the tutorial area and you enter Cyrodiil for the first time. So you better believe I put 2 hours of my time into that game before getting killed by a skeleton while I was in a dungeon, and it loaded me back up right at those sewer grates.
Ooh.
Right when you're seeing the world for the first time, and I looked up like, wait a minute, where's my autosave?
Where's my progress?
You mean the 2 hours I just put into this, I lost?
Gone to the wind.
And that was the last time I played Oblivion.
You're like, I'm putting this shit down.
Well, we've been talking about it for quite a while on this show because just leaks literally over the years have been coming out about Oblivion it being remastered. And I don't know if you saw it, Nicole, but a bunch of documents, I think this had to have been 2 years ago now, a bunch of documents leaked, Microsoft internal documents, basically with their roadmap for the next 5, or at that time it was 5 years from.
I think I remember that. Yeah.
Because they were talking about like the next iteration of Xbox. They were talking about controllers being redesigned, and they had a bunch of games listed that were in the pipeline, including the Oblivion remaster and then Fallout 3 remaster, which that's another one that's all but confirmed, but we know that exists. It's going to be a while before we get it. It's probably another 3 years if they want to do I don't want to say this, but a 20th anniversary edition of Fallout 3.
We're so old.
We'd be pushing 40.
Goodness.
We would be pushing 40 when that game comes out.
You can't say that. That's not true.
And it'll still
that can't be.
It's still going to come out before Elder Scrolls 6 too, and it's still going to come out before Fallout 5. It's
Bro,
we're getting the remasters
this is
now.
Crazy. What the heck? And I'm still playing New Vegas. I'm just modding New Vegas all day.
I go through my phases where I jump back into New Vegas, and that's my thing for like 2 weeks, and then something else catches my attention, but I always come back to it.
You always come back. You can't stay away. I can't let go. I never learned the lesson from the DLC. I'm never letting go.
I will be in Vegas in October, so I will be preparing myself for the playthrough.
In November.
I
go to the Good Springs thing. We should do it.
Maybe I'll go back. Maybe I'll just go back because I did Nashville. I did Nashville twice in a month. I could do Vegas twice in a month.
I mean, come on. I'm going to be there. Fallout's going to be there.
It's enticing. Maybe because
okay.
I love the West Coast and I'm overdue for a trip out there anyway.
If I can persuade you in any way, let's talk about this. Let's talk about this. I was considering actually camping. Cause and that will be tough though because it gets cold. It's really cold in November out there. I didn't realize. So we're kind of like flirting with the idea.
Yeah. I love the desert too. I would love to live in the desert, but that's something you reminded me about how it gets out there.
It was so dusty. Like every time you blow your nose, it's so gross. Like you're like, what the fuck is coming out? And I remember my throat just felt so dry every time I woke up. So I'm definitely bringing my humidifier.
Yep.
For sure. But yeah, I guess they're going to be like decorating, don't quote me on this, but I think they're going to be decorating the Buffalo Bills,
Out in
hotel casino in Prim.
yep.
So like it's going to be like even bigger and better this year. So
I think it was last time you were on the shows. You had just gone to the one last year.
that's all I can think about.
What makes me happy is that the proprietors of the saloon, the Pioneer Saloon in Good Springs, when I was out there in 2021, they were telling me how they were like, now they had said that they were planning on like redecorating the establishment to look more akin to how it does in the game.
Mm-hmm.
And I think you told me it doesn't look like how it does in the game. At least there's like no signs of any sort of like major renovations. I mean, they'd have to like gut the place to make it look like how it does
Right.
in the game. But like they wanted to really celebrate the game, and their tourism has gone up significantly in 15 years because of the game. I'm glad they at least stuck to that part of their word, that they're embracing fans coming through. Yeah.
I really love that because it really does feel like the community embraces it. Everyone was so great during the celebration, the event. So many locals coming to help support the event, help with organization and all sorts of things like that. So yeah, I mean, I can't wait to go back. It seems like there's some really cool things coming up for this year.
Nice.
So yeah, I'll send you some links.
Yes, please.
After this. Yeah.
That'd be great. I am gonna prepare for, let's say, my first trip out to Vegas this year by playing. Thankfully, it's cheap. Thankfully, it's a cheap destination. But we'll prepare with at least 2 weeks of Fallout New Vegas, and then Becky and her sister are. I'm going to drag them along on the New Vegas tour.
Nice.
So I'll be showing,
Nice.
we'll be going out in the desert, and I'll be showing them Good Springs. I'll be showing them Gene skydiving and Nipton, where, hopefully a lottery is happening and a massacre has occurred. And
bunch of tires on fire. You're like, here you go.
dead bodies everywhere.
Right. Look out for the guy in the fox hat.
And Searchlight.
It's so fun.
The last time I went, I drove. I went to Boulder City, drove around there, and then Searchlight is maybe like 45 minutes from there, and it's just like a long stretch of just desert road.
Just nothing.
And in the game, Searchlight is just an irradiated mess. But in real life, your town is bumping when your like chief attraction is Denny's.
Oh. Yikes. I mean, well, how good was the Denny's?
I mean, it was Denny's. I mean, it's Denny's. If
listen, I fuck with Denny's.
Same.
Okay.
And it wasn't, they have a casino out there. It's part of like, they have like one
in the
casino.
Denny's?
The Denny's is part of the casino. Yeah. Well, it's also Vegas too. You go into the 7-Eleven and there's slot machines everywhere.
Yeah, that was so weird to me. I was like, oh, I thought those were like decorations at first. I was like, oh, I was like, no, those are running.
Yeah. When you go to McCarran too, like everything you saw in the game is true. The second you get out of your gate, slot machines everywhere. Like they do not mess around in that area.
I gotta do like the actual tour because we only went to a few places. Like we stayed in Prim, we went to Good Springs, we passed by a couple things, but like I didn't even see the dam. So
yeah, you got to go back.
Do that this year.
You got to see the dam.
See all this stuff.
What's unfortunate is the water level, just because of how the environment is now. The water level has receded a lot at the dam, and I know that the water supply for that region is, it's just perpetually in turmoil. But you can see on just the rocks. Where the water used to be, because it's all discolored. The color is it's like white. The sediment's all discolored, but it shows you where water was 20 years ago versus where it is now, and I don't think it's going to get any better.
Damn, and it's like it's a huge difference.
It's a significant difference. Yeah,
wow.
I posted back when I had Facebook. I posted a picture of it just I was just me, like, look where I am. I'm at the Hoover Dam, blah, 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 blah. And a couple of my friends, people who don't even know each other personally, got into a huge argument on that post.
In the comments.
Yeah, just about like environmental regulation and water conservation and all this stuff. I'm like, guys, are you kidding me with this?
Can we make this about me? This is my post. Fuck this dam. Sorry.
Don't you understand the war, the battle of the Hoover Dam?
Like, come on. What are we doing here?
Well, I will keep a potential second trip in mind. I would love to gather with my fellow nerds in Las Vegas.
It would be so nice. Be so fun. Vegas time. I mean, you're already going to Vegas, but
sure.
I actually didn't even go into Vegas. I literally drove all the way out there, and then I saw Vegas from a distance, and I was like, see ya.
Oh, that looks cool.
I'm like, bye. I'm going to Good Springs.
A lot of lights out there. Well, see you later.
It's bright.
Well, we can do that, but unfortunately, there's no, as far as I know, or real life Cyrodiil that we can all travel to, or anyway, easily travel to celebrate. But yeah, we talked about it on the show that just the existence of a remaster, and then how things leaked last week. The developer that was contracted to make the remaster, they're called Virtuous, and they had on their website all of the key art for the game just there, like they
out there.
It wasn't posted, but it was all uploaded, and they didn't gate it whatsoever, and data miners found it quickly, and Bethesda stuck to their plan of just announcing it and releasing it all in the same breath, basically.
That's awesome.
They did a teaser post 24 hours prior with tune in at 11 a.m. Eastern for the big reveal. And during the reveal, they said the game is available to play. Dude literally looked at his watch, and he's like,
"That's awesome.
To play now."
That's awesome. I love that.
How often does that happen? That doesn't happen in video games.
Right. I mean, to give 24 hours, I mean, gosh, I wish I even knew about that, because I can't imagine how hyped people were, do you remember back when there were midnight releases, you had to go to the game store, and just how hype you were for things to happen. And then to just get that, just to get those little trickles, and then so quickly, just boom, 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 boom.
Yep.
It's awesome.
The last time I did that where it had meaning was 2013 with Grand Theft Auto 5. Because that was still a period where you could put the game in and it would fire right up. It
would work.
Grand Theft Auto 5 took some time to install, but it's nothing compared to what it is today. I went to the midnight release for Fallout 4 back in 2015. And I was, A, nobody was there. And B, when I installed the game, it took an hour and a half for it to install. Download, the day one patch, and then actually install. And by the time I was ready to go, it was almost 2 a.m. And I'd already allocated time.
You were exhausted.
Yeah, I'd allocated time to sit down and play. But at that point, I'm like, dude, all my energy reserves from being hyped are depleted now. I'm gonna play it, but
it wore down. The adrenaline wore off. You're I'm not even really stoked anymore. It's 3 a.m.
Off air, we were talking about The Last of Us, and The Last of Us Part 2. I prepared for that in that I pre-ordered it digitally. It's I think that must be the last time I pre-ordered the most expensive version of the game you can get too. And it downloaded because when you do it digitally, it will, and you pre-order it effectively preloads the game. It downloads it ahead of time. So all you need at launch is maybe a small update that just unlocks the file, but otherwise the second the clock hits midnight, the game is ready to play.
Yeah.
And I swear to God, this is true. The tile on the UI of the PlayStation 4 UI with a timer on it. And I sat there watching it from like 1 minute counting down, and I watched the animation. The second it hit 0, the tile unlocked, and I was in, right? It 12 a.m. on the dot. Loaded into the game. It was installed. I was playing it. I was right into it within minutes. I didn't have to wait for anything additional.
That's how it should be.
That's how we live now. And you know what? We couldn't do that with Oblivion with its 120 gig install.
That's it. That's wild.
That's how I spent.
I shouldn't say it's wild. I mean, it's 2025, but goodness knows my computer can't handle it right now.
I had to go and delete stuff. I've installed it twice now today. I installed it on my Xbox Series S, deleted a bunch of stuff off of that. And then on my PC, there's a reason why I installed it twice. And it took, at least on the Xbox, it took like 3 hours to install. So, yeah.
Yikes.
And I have good internet. I know people have better internet than I do, but I have better internet than other people, and it still took a long time. Yeah,
for a game, like, come on.
Yeah, I thought like 50 gig for The Witcher 3 was a lot.
It was bad.
No, Starfield was like at 100 gig.
Yeah, Starfield was. My computer even struggled with that. So
yeah,
I just have no space.
Same. Yeah. Well. I installed it on PC as well because I need to do a good like comparison here because the Xbox Series S I don't think it should exist in terms of handling new games. The whole reason it is around, it's like the budget version of the more powerful Series X. It doesn't have a disk drive. It can't do like ray tracing. It can't do 4K, but it also can't really handle the like modern games now. Like Starfield was surprising in that it only ran on Xbox. It ran, I don't even think at 30 frames a second. I think it was like 25 or something. It was ridiculous. And then I'm enjoying the couple of hours I've put into the Oblivion remaster on my Xbox, but it's just so janky and the pop-in is awful. And there's other jankiness too that I've come to expect from Bethesda games. It's It's really nice to know it's present here in a game that's coming in 2025. But
it's like it's a little comforting. You're like, oh, that's familiar.
It's like getting on a horse and then seeing that your mini map, your little it's a mini map, little thing at the top. All of a sudden, it just starts going all over the place because it's like going in tandem with your head bob. And when you're on the horse, when you're on your mount, your head's bobbing all over the place. So the compass thing is just like, it's like you're going epileptic almost. So I'm not riding horses because I can't handle the compass going nuts.
Right.
But the
immersion,
the frame rate, it's like, I don't even think it's at 30 frames a second. And again, like when you're out in the world, if you go into a building, like if you go into Wayne and Priory, which is right at the beginning of the game, give it like 5 seconds and everything loads in. You go outside and everything is just constantly having to load and everything's just popping in and it's annoying. Like I've been playing it. I'm not letting it, like you just said, I'm not letting it ruin my immersion, but praise Microsoft for doing their Play Anywhere. You were talking about, it was your boyfriend or your roommate that was playing it on his phone.
Yeah.
Which is astounding.
It looked great. It looked fantastic.
When you're streaming it off a central server, you're gonna get like the best version of the game, so it's gonna look fantastic on a phone.
I was so surprised. I'm like, dang, look at us now playing all these games on our phones.
When Cyberpunk 2077 first came out in late 2020, which is frightening to think about how long it's been.
Right.
But the best version of that game was the Google Stadia version.
Really?
Because you're streaming it from a very powerful computer, like a central location. They could run the game with no issue. So everyone's like, the Stadia version is the one to play because nothing else can handle it.
Nothing else can run this.
Joe Consumer does not have thousands of dollars to spend on a rig capable of playing this. But Google did. So I when we're done recording, I tried to start it up on my PC shortly before we started recording, and it was having a lot of trouble just at the main menu, and I does not give me a lot of confidence. It's weird because it has an auto detect in the settings, and it was putting everything on high, and then yet it's chugging at the menu. So
it's like, what do you?
We'll see. We'll see what happens.
My fingers are crossed for you.
Thank you. If I can get it running, and I can send you what my specs are, but if I can get it running at least like on medium,
yeah,
I'll let you know.
Fine.
Because you should try it. It's again somehow
I'd
I
love
put 40
to.
hours in, and it looks great. It plays a lot better than the original version.
Good.
It's worth it definitely is worth trying. I mean, this was revolutionary 20 years ago. It's considered one of the greatest games ever made. It's just archaic by today's standards.
Yeah, I mean, I should try and see if my phone can handle it, considering my computer can't. I'm like, hell, I got this Google Pixel. Let's see what this bad boy can do. Maybe it can do something for me.
Now, are you familiar with Skyblivion?
No, I'm not.
So Skyblivion is this mod that has been in development for a very, very long time now. And it is a total conversion mod for, I believe, Skyrim that basically ports Oblivion into Skyrim using that game's engine, that version of the creation engine.
Yeah.
So you have all the mechanics of Skyrim, but with Oblivion.
That's awesome.
In other words, what if Oblivion was released this way in 2011?
Yeah.
And it's still in development. It's close to being finished, but they kind of hit a little bit of a snag recently because Bethesda just out of nowhere drops their remaster of Oblivion, which is what this volunteer fan-made mod is effectively doing. So, So you're either going to have, and now Half-Life 2 kind of did this where someone made a mod called Half-Life 2 Update that updates, I believe it's a fan-made mod, but it updated the game to run on the newer Source engine, and then Valve went and just did that.
Oh, cool.
So Bethesda, they've actually been they've been cool with Skyblivion. They're okay with it. They have been supportive of the project, and it was revealed today that they sent the entire team behind Skyblivion free copies of Oblivion Remastered as a show of good faith.
That's awesome. Aw. To be like, hey, we see what you're doing. Maybe sorry for releasing it like this, but
one-upping.
That's awesome.
Yeah. Or maybe one-upping them. I don't know. Skyblivion.
I know, right? Rub it in their face. Hey, look at what we did. No, I can't imagine. That's really nice, though. That's really cool.
Yeah, it'll be cool to have like the two versions whenever Skyblivion comes out, so you can compare and see which one is the better game.
Yeah, absolutely.
But the remaster, though, it's part of Game Pass. It's it's on Steam. It's on all the platforms. For some reason, it's on Xbox. I mean, anything comes out on Xbox Series X has to come out on the S. I think that's like Microsoft's rule, even if it is like heavily watered down.
Okay.
But it is for the 2 hours I put into it so far. It's familiar. It's
comforting.
Yeah, it's just for what I've played of the game. Even those 2 hours that I lost with no autosave, and happy to say there is an autosave.
Okay, I was gonna say, all right, okay.
But it's very familiar. It doesn't stray too far from the path. It still feels like you're playing Oblivion. It just definitely, a lot of people are just like, oh, it's just got a facelift. They just updated the graphics. The mechanics are a lot better. They've taken a lot of pages from Skyrim and Elder Scrolls Online, and it's a lot easier to play. But otherwise, it feels like Oblivion. There's things. Because I've played Morrowind, I've played Oblivion, I've played Skyrim, and they're all mechanically different in their own ways. And they where I would think that Skyblivion will have all of the mechanics of Skyrim, but you're playing Oblivion.
Yeah.
This one, it's all of Oblivion's mechanics. They just made it so it's a little more user-friendly.
Yeah. That's awesome.
So when you get to it, Nicole, you're going to get the better version.
I'm gonna have to let you know what I think. I did see like just a little bit, as folks were playing it. I was getting a little bit of like uncanny valley with some of like the mouths. I don't know. Maybe that's just uh it might have just been me. It might have just been that character. But I was getting a little weirded out a little bit. But listen, the faces, like I kind of don't mind a little bit of jank in the faces. Like you said, it's familiar.
Yeah, it still looks a little goofy like it did 20 years ago.
Yeah.
But because they hadn't quite, think of like Fallout 3. Like even the faces there don't look great.
Yeah. And I don't mind it. That's part of the charm. Like that's
Right.
by no means like a dig, because like so many things were looking beautiful. Like he like went out into like a town or whatever, was looking at like some river. The sun was rising. The rays were bouncing off of the river. You could see the stones in there. It was gorgeous on a cell phone.
Oh,
like, so I don't want to like knock it or anything. I was just like, what's going on with this lady's mouth? What's happening to this lady?
Now, I am curious how they are doing that these days, because I remember when the game LA Noire came out in 2011.
Oh my gosh.
It was a really big deal with the facial animation.
Yeah.
And how they did that. It was the first of its kind to capture like facial muscle movements and, accurately animating the human mouth. And
yeah.
nowadays, I feel like they don't need to go through the lengths that they went to in 2011, whereas you're seeing today just the mouth movements in the Oblivion remaster. And that's even a thing in the announcement trailer they talked about, was the lip sync, the improved lip sync.
Oh gosh, and I hope I'm not knocking it. I didn't mean to. Listen, it looks amazing.
Well, you can knock it. If it makes you feel weird, then it makes you feel weird. I mean,
It was one character,
Yeah.
you guys. It was one character. Maybe she just had a big mouth. Maybe she just had a big mouth.
There are some goofy looking characters. They do have some weird looking mouths.
Maybe she was just ugly.
And she has a
My
deformity.
bad.
It's okay. It's all right. If you're ugly, it's all right.
I'm ugly and I'm proud.
We're going to make fun of you, but it's okay. You're included.
Not to her face, behind her back. Very, very politely and respectfully. Gosh, what do you think I am?
Well, I hope you get the chance to, that your computer gives you the chance to play it.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll let you know. I'll let you know what I think. I'll get a chance to play it on somehow. I mean, people are playing it, so I'll find a way to sneak my way in.
It's getting dogged because back in 2006, or maybe it was 2007, after the game had been out for a little while, it was the first instance of microtransaction DLC for dumb shit, where they came out with $3 horse armor, like inconsequential armor for your horse.
Listen, I played World of Warcraft. I bought all that stupid shit, and I'll buy it again. I love it. I have disposable income, baby. What do you think that's for?
Well, they have
Horse armor.
they have DLC for the remaster, and it includes new armor for your horse.
There we go.
Oh.
That's all you need to say. Horse armor. I'm in.
Bethesda knows.
They know me.
They
Listen,
know.
I had Fallout first. Like I'll buy it.
I gotta say though, Todd, he really pulled a fast one on everybody. We were all expecting just another version of Skyrim. He's like, no, I'll do you one better. I'll go back to the previous game. We'll give you
There
that
you go.
instead, and we'll still charge you full price.
And you'll like it.
You will play this,
And
you will
you'll
like it.
thank me.
And then you know what? It'll probably come out for Switch too. In which case, we're all gonna buy it again.
You know what? I'm not going to deny it. I'm not going to fight it. I know what it is. He's got my number. It's fine.
Hey, I don't know if I told you this, but my Fallout tattoo, the Wild Wasteland, that I have on my chest.
Yeah.
Old coworker of mine, who wrote. He is. I don't want to give like too much information away about like what he does now. I would say he's a pretty big deal in the industry now, but he just happened to be buddy with Pete Hines, who was the head of marketing at Bethesda, and Pete Hines liked my tattoo.
Oh, he noticed you.
He saw a picture of it and he said, that is awesome. He said he really liked it.
Aw.
That's
so
my-
you just You moisturize it extra good. You're like,
Yes.
here you go.
Yep, that's my little humble brag. So.
Oh, I still need to get a Fallout tattoo. I kind of have like an idea what I want to do, but still working on it. But I can't believe it's taking so long.
I'm so behind on tattoos. The last one I got
Gotta
was
catch up.
last one I got was when I was in Vegas last time, and it was just because of where the hotel I was staying at, right next to the elevator in the main lobby, was a tattoo place.
Oh goodness.
And I'm like, look, I'm here, and I'm not doing anything. I'm just gonna go get some ink done.
Just get a little quick one.
And it was convenient, and it was partially paid by the state of Nevada.
Was it clean? I mean, you're good now.
Oh no, it was great. Yeah, no, it was
Okay.
it was fantastic. It just I didn't have to pay for all of it because I
Hell
managed to win money when I was there. So
Gotta love that.
all of my Vegas ink has not been entirely paid for by me, which I love.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's a great deal.
All right, when we come back, we will talk about Fyre Fest 2. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
All right, we will be right back.
I used to be with it, but then they changed what it was. Now what I'm with isn't it, and what's it seems weird and scary to me. It'll happen to you.
You are listening to Hardly Focused.
This podcast contains explicit content.
It's almost politically incorrect.
You are listening to Hardly Focused.
I was also told not to make any comments about appearance, so besides what I just said, that will be it.
You're moving on, Jack. You know, in the future, you won't actually need to say that. It'll just be understood. But good effort.
Nicole, are you a fan of the band Anberlin?
I am not.
Okay.
Sorry. Is this them?
Yeah, I'm just gonna shut it off then. Yeah.
No, I was jamming. Okay. I've heard the name. I'm just not familiar.
All right. Oh, I thought you were just like, no, I'm not a fan.
I hate
They
'em.
suck.
Take it off. I'm done.
I'll have to cue that back up then. But yeah, that song, the Symphony of Blase.
Ooh, okay.
I believe that's how it's pronounced. I saw them in Orlando, Florida a couple of weeks ago.
How was the show?
It was phenomenal, and I didn't tell the story yet on the show here. And we will get the Fyre Fest. We'll talk about Fyre Fest
Okay.
2, and then what's coming up with that. And then before that, we're going to talk about Kanye West.
Yeah.
Just this whole thing very briefly. But so there's a kind of a background to this. So back at the beginning of March, Becky and I went to Nashville, and we saw Jesse Lacey from Brand New. And Nicole, I know you're a fan of early Brand New.
Yeah.
And seeing Jesse perform is his first public performance in 7 years. And the band that opened for them, a band called Summer Rental, who I'd never heard of. And the drummer in Summer Rental has performed with Brand New many, many times on many tours. They also are the drummer for Group Love, if you're familiar with them.
Nice.
And so we see them. They're great. Kind of giving off a little bit of a Gaslight Anthem vibe. The frontman sounds, in my opinion, a bit like Jay Mascis from Dinosaur Jr. So then we see Brand New later that month in Nashville again. And hold on, I know this whole topic is controversial because people have feelings about Jesse Lacey.
Yes.
His name is a trigger word, whatever. So we see Brand New in Nashville, and that band Summer Rental opened for them again. And they were phenomenal, just as they were seeing them earlier in the month, that now in a much bigger venue. So bringing all that up because Becky and I now, like a week later, we're in Orlando out in front of the House of Blues at Disney Springs to see Anberlin. They were playing with Copeland and the Dangerous Summer. And Becky points over at someone and she's like, "That's Lou. That's the guy from Summer Rental." And he was just out there just like chilling with his wife.
Oh, that's so cool. Oh, did you go up and say hey?
I did. And
Was he nice?
He loved that. I like, dude, I saw you twice last month and you guys are phenomenal. And we just like out there, right there, just started talking, just music, just, just talking about those shows, just talking music in general, talking about his stuff. And then he says, we go our separate ways. And he says, hell, I'm sure I'll see you guys at the show. And, we're buzzing about it. So we go into the venue, Dangerous Summer plays. When they're done, all of a sudden Lou and his wife walk up next to me and Becky. And Lou says, we're going to stand with you guys because we know you.
Oh my God. Oh, that's so cool. Oh my gosh. Oh.
And we just took in
just jammed out.
4 of us took in the show together, and he was like telling me stories about his connections to all of the members of all the bands that we saw play, and asking me if I was familiar with their side projects, and I'm just I'm keeping my cool. But when someone's like talking to me about like stuff like that, the technical side of it, then I'm going to start geeking out.
Oh yeah,
on that front. But I'm otherwise just keeping my cool talking to this guy because I'm like, dude, I just saw you open for Brand New.
That's amazing. That's so cool. Oh, that's great. And I mean, hey, it might have been great for them too. They're like, damn, I don't know anybody here. Like, I recognize these people. Let's go hang out. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That sounds like a really great time.
It was a good time. That was a show for the books. The show itself was great too. I mean, I've always wanted to see Copeland, and they were great. Anberlin. I've seen Anberlin so many times. They kill it every time. And Dangerous Summer, they've been around for a long time, but it was funny because the front man just like, not only is like he just walks out into the crowd and he's just singing, getting everybody to sing with him, and just, not giving 2 fucks. But later on, when Anberlin was playing, the members of the Dangerous Summer were crowd surfing.
Hell yeah.
Crowd surfing.
It sounds like a party.
And starting a mosh pit and crowd surfing.
Oh,
and
hell yeah.
I think it was the last show of the tour, so the spirits were especially high.
Yeah, they're just like, let's go out with a bang.
But
that's awesome.
I know nothing. I have no I have no tea about Brand New or their upcoming tour. I have nothing I can share, and even if I
that's
had
what
stuff
you're
to share,
saying on air.
I really have nothing to share.
We'll get you after the show.
Yeah. I think they're playing in Texas too. I think they're making a stop there. So
I haven't seen music. I went to ACL. What am I saying? I'm like, I haven't seen live music in forever. I went to ACL.
Make Brand New have that break the ice.
I know, right? I should. I mean, I'm in Austin of all places. Like, hello.
They're playing at the Moody Center on June 12th.
Okay. I still haven't even been to the Moody Center.
Well, there you go. They're playing at the DCU Center in Worcester. They're not even playing in Boston. They're playing in Worcester.
Do you remember the DCU Center?
Of course, I live like 5 minutes from there. Of course, I know.
The prom. Prom at the DCU Center. Aw. Us going up those escalators and the dresses. What the hell?
I think I was, and you, I can't remember if you were there, but my graduating class anyway, I think we were the first ones to have our prom at the DCU Center and not just in the high school gym. Our class was so big they had to move it somewhere.
Yeah, and I think I went to that one. It was really nice.
Yeah, I went
to 2 proms.
I went to those same 2 proms. I was right there with you.
Aw, memories.
That was 2 years ago, right?
Yeah.
That wasn't almost 20 years ago. That was
Don't
2 years ago.
even put a number out there. Don't do it.
Someone who's a little more sane 20 years ago, or maybe he wasn't, and we are just now only seeing how he really is Kanye West. And
yikes.
He is in the news because he put a new song out called Cousins and announces it by going on Twitter. And I'm still calling it Twitter.
Same.
And I think his account is like, I think it's like heavily suppressed now, or
is it?
He was banned for a little while, but like every time I feel like he's been banned multiple times, and every time he gets banned, he's allowed back. But now it's heavily restricted. And I know that the way that Twitter is now, if someone directly links a tweet, I don't have an account anymore, but I can still pull up tweets that are linked, directly linked.
Yeah.
Kanye's tweet, either it was taken down or he's just so locked down now that you can't see his tweets. But he posted on Twitter the other day, quote, "Strap in, kids. This song is called Cousins, about my cousin that's locked in jail for life for killing a pregnant lady a few years after I told him we wouldn't look at dirty magazines together anymore. Perhaps in my self-centered mess, I felt it was my fault that I showed him those dirty magazines when he was 6, and then we acted out what we saw. My dad had Playboy magazines, but the magazines I found in the top of my mom's closet were different. My name is Ye, and I sucked my cousin's dick till I was 14. Tweet sent."
That is a lot.
Yeah. And like the saddest part is it's like coming from Kanye West, I'm not like shocked or surprised or even really disgusted.
Yeah. It's really tough to watch. I mean, gosh, I can't imagine how tough it is to, be experiencing whatever feelings he's having right now. And I preface this, all by saying I understand, he's very controversial. He's done a lot of very egregious things, especially lately. But it's really difficult to see someone be crashing and burning so hard, so publicly. It's really concerning. I don't mean to be, flippant or blasé when I say like this is more appropriate for therapy than Twitter, but I mean that sincerely. Like it's very concerning. It's
not to mention he's got kids.
Yeah.
Like kids who are old enough to see all this now.
Kids who are on social media, and I know, like, we're trying to keep things, lighthearted and stuff, but this is very
bizarre. And that's putting it lightly.
It's pretty wild. It's pretty wild.
Well, now Kim, I feel like Kim does a decent enough job at least shielding the kids from their father.
Yeah, wasn't it? And I'm sorry if I'm wrong about this, but I think I'd seen something about, on social media over the past couple months about Kim having to take the kids out of Kanye's house because he had like Andrew Tate or somebody around they didn't want around, and it's even coming out that, Kim has to like go get the kids because Kanye is doing something.
I feel like that
co-parenting is so tough as it is.
Yeah. But when they're in the presence of Kanye, at least it's like it's supervised. They're not left alone with him because God only knows what will happen.
Right. I mean, this is so wild. Like, I can't even imagine like what's going through his head right now.
Well, remember his Super Bowl ad earlier this year?
Remind me.
It was like 30 seconds, and he's like in a dentist's office, like he's in the chair, like either he just had surgery, he's about to have like oral surgery done, and he's advertising a link to his like online store, and the link goes to a single shirt that had a swastika on it. And,
oh my goodness.
And like people bought it. A lot of people bought it.
Ooh, yikes. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I remember hearing that there was something weird about the Super Bowl, that he had done something weird, and I was like, sounds like Kanye.
Shockingly, the ad only aired in 3 cities. It didn't.
Okay.
Like it didn't.
So they were able to kind of, get that out.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the Super Bowl. That's so regulated and restricted and like fine-tuned, programming.
In the Super Bowl, the cost of a Super Bowl ad, I mean, it's not cheap. I want to say it's like $3 million or something like that. And for Kanye, unfortunately, that's nothing. And there was concerns too about the vetting process for these commercials. And my understanding is that the link, when the commercial was screened initially before it aired, the link went to just his store, and it just had typical bizarro but otherwise typical Kanye merch, and then at the very last second all that was taken down and replaced with
They switched it.
a swastika shirt. So
wow.
This is 100% real. Typically I will like tee up that I have audio of one thing and then I end up playing something else, and we all have a hearty laugh. What I'm about to play is real, and it is a clip from the beginning of Cousins by Kanye West. And if his tweet wasn't enough, here you go.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, it goes on like that for like 2 more minutes.
Yikes. Oh, gosh. This is
like, but compared to his rampant anti-Semitism, this is relatively tame.
Right? The cloaks and all of that. Oh, my gosh. It's wild. What is happening?
We're witnessing a slow downfall, and like you're saying this off air, but like just how much time do we have left with Kanye?
Yeah, like I'm really, I mean, this has been going on for how long? And I mean, gosh, if you were to ask me, a couple of weeks ago, my thought was, he's very clearly trying to stay relevant. He's, saying very controversial things because, he knows that will get the people going and all of these things. And it was getting worse and worse and worse and worse. And I mean, how much further can this go? Like, I mean, we know that he has, a mental illness. He's been diagnosed. He was on medication for it. I'm not a doctor, but clearly something is wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Very wrong. And it's scary to see this happening. Just to witness this happening to somebody is disturbing.
The thing that baffles me is his relationship with Bianca Censori. That's his current wife, where like it was announced a while ago that they were divorcing, but now they're back together. But this isn't the first time we've seen this happen.
Yeah. Sorry.
Well, no, it's a bizarro relationship, and it really comes across as inescapable. Like she can't escape him.
Yeah. I mean, back when he was with Kim, she would talk about how he would dress her and how he was very controlling about what she was wearing and all of these things. And then, everyone else that he's dated since, he's styled them very specifically to the point where, there's a commotion because someone's naked on a red carpet or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Bianca had also said that he was very controlling with what she wore. Yeah. And how she styled. Well, she didn't style herself. He styled her. So it's
very toxic.
Bad news.
Yeah.
It's bad news, and I mean, it's hard to get out of, of abusive cycles. And gosh, I'm praying for everyone involved because it's tough to see, like you said, he's got kids, they're getting older. He's got family, people that care about him.
He still has his fan base too. I mean, his fans are going to eat this up.
Yeah, it's
because we keep giving him attention. That's the thing. He's doing it for the attention. We're giving him the attention. He'll continue to have his platform until he doesn't have it anymore.
But what's that going to take? Like, it's
at this point, like quite literally a life, because the ideologies, the anti-Semitism, that doesn't seem to be stopping him, and that's not
right. It's
not that he's not losing followers over it. He's not losing fans.
It's really, yeah, it's it's like a train wreck. Like something is going to happen. Like we know this isn't gonna. I pray that it ends well. I pray that things just go, get better, but that's not realistic. Like
I have this clip of Alex Jones saying this.
Oh man, well, I have to disagree with that.
And for him to say that, I'm 99.5% sure he was talking to Kanye West.
Yeah.
Kanye said something. So Kanye said
to
something.
Have Alex.
Exactly.
To be like,
yeah.
Hang on a sec.
Yeah. When you get Alex Jones disagreeing with you, you know you done goofed.
Right. He's like, hang on, let me sell you my nootropics or whatever the hell that's called. My nootropics.
Dude, I'm still so mad that the deal with the Onion fell through. Do you remember that last year?
Yes. Oh man.
Oh, we were so
would have been.
We were so close.
Hey, never say never, right?
Right. I mean, we said never say never to Fyre Festival, and look what happened.
And here we are.
Sure. Yeah. So Fyre Festival. So we all know the story, but if you don't, that was the humanitarian crisis that happened in 2017.
The FEMA tents.
Back then, this podcast, we were doing it for a period in 2017. It was a live show. It was live streamed, and we were pretty much live streaming the unfurling of Fyre Fest as it was happening when people were arriving in Great Exuma in the Bahamas and finding that there were no accommodations and that the concierge tent was literally just plywood with haphazardly put together, not even level. It was
my God.
Comical. And then the food, the cheese sandwiches that went viral, just everything about that. And then Blink-182 being the first to pull out of the event, followed by literally every other artist on the bill. Yeah. And
oh man, what a disaster.
Yeah, I was have you watched either the Netflix or the Hulu documentary about it?
I haven't, but I should.
Yeah,
because I was watching the drama and I was loving that.
Yeah, they interview. Now I only saw the Netflix one. I know that the Hulu one is really not much different beyond the Hulu one. They were able to interview Billy McFarland, who is the founder of Fyre Festival and Fyre as a company. And this was right before he was going to jail too. So they effectively did like his last interview in the next
before going in.
I think like quite literally the next day. Yeah, he went to prison.
Oh wow.
But the Netflix one, it's like they're interviewing there was like a local restaurant that like attendees when they arrived on the island were dumped at just to I guess distract them from their last minute preparations of the festival grounds. And the poor lady who was running the place, she lost pretty much all her money just having to accommodate all these people because there were like no plans in place, and
oh gosh,
no one was given a heads up about anything. And I think like crowdfunding was able to help her out after the documentary hit. There was this other dude went viral because he was so desperate, I think, to secure like pallets of bottled water that he was willing to suck someone off to secure it.
Wait, I think I remember hearing about that. I think I remember, and like maybe seeing a clip or something of some guy saying that. Yeah, he was like, oh my gosh, I remember that bit.
Kanye West style.
Blowjobs for water.
So
you gotta do what you gotta do.
So that happens. Fyre Fest is a spectacular failure. I am very vocal and critical of anyone that equates any sort of inconvenience to Fyre Festival, because unless the thing that is being used as a point of comparison is happening on a desert island where you literally have no way of getting off, then you're fine. Anyone who's like, oh, this music festival, it's just like Fyre Festival. I'm like, all right, maybe from like a logistical standpoint, if things aren't going according to plan, then sure, you can complain about it. To compare it to Fyre Festivals, like comparing a fender bender to 9/11, but
9/11.
But to say like, oh, I'm stuck here and I can't get out.
You're trapped.
Like even like Coachella, when people were complaining about trying to get into Coachella a couple weekends ago.
The lines, yeah.
And they're like, this is just as bad as Fyre Festival. No, you're in a motor vehicle that has gas and you're in a civilized area.
Yeah, weren't people like sabotaging other tents, and like it was getting very like it got pretty wild pretty quick from what I remember.
Yeah, at Fyre Festivals.
Yeah,
people were equating it rightly so to Lord of the Flies, like just like,
yeah. People just going crazy. I mean, yeah, there's no food. You're stuck on a desert island with no way to get out. Sun's beating down on you, and you got no entertainment, no Blink 182. I would riot too.
Someone went. I forget who it was. It was a comedian, and they went on. They went on Conan, and I remember they were talking about Fyre Festival, and they made some line, and I can't remember exactly what it is verbatim, but it was just like digging all over people who spent thousands of dollars to travel to the Bahamas just to see Blink 182. Like,
right.
Like, what are you doing with your life? Like, I love Blink 182. Get me wrong, they're one of my favorite bands, but I'm not that dumb. I'm not that.
No,
desperate.
I don't have that kind of disposable income. I have a horse armor income, but not Fyre Festival income. I got Jaguar Waymo money, not Jaguar money. Difference.
That was good. So Billy McFarland, he then goes to prison. He's supposed to serve a 6-year prison sentence. He didn't serve all of it. He got out in 2022. And first thing that motherfucker does is he begins to plan Fyre Festival 2.
One more time.
We didn't learn our lesson. It's something that we've talked a lot about just getting older and the follies of getting older. And as I've gotten older, I've learned, especially in the last, say, 10 years, that we don't learn our lessons. We just
keep going through the cycles.
Yeah. We have people telling us, warning us, saying, if you do this, bad things are going to happen. And we just...
La, 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 la.
Yeah.
But now we're trying to warn people and they're not listening. And it's infuriating.
Yeah.
Kids these days.
We should have listened to this guy.
Consequences will never be the same.
Consequences will never be the same.
That's true.
So Fyre Festival 2, that was supposed to happen in Mexico later this spring. I think it was supposed to happen like maybe the last weekend of May going into June. It was initially going to happen. I'm going to totally butcher the name of this. I apologize. Isla Mujeres? Yeah.
Mujeres?
Isla Nublar.
Yes, that one. I know that place.
It was initially going to be held there, and then the local officials denied any knowledge of the event happening there. So then it moved to Playa del Carmen, and officials there pretty much said the same thing. We know nothing of a festival that's happening here, and this McFarland guy has not secured the right permits to hold such a festival.
Sounds like things are going great so far.
And people had already bought tickets at this point. People spent money on tickets for Fyre Festival 2. There was like a package that was worth like $1 million. That was like the ultimate platinum VIP. I think it was called like the Prometheus package or something like that. You
get the ultimate FEMA tent.
The ultimate FEMA tent, yes.
Best FEMA tent we got, baby.
This was used in Katrina, man.
It's vintage. For the hipsters. There's no hipsters anymore.
No, they all have mushroom, the mushroom heads, the broccoli heads.
What is that?
Right?
I know it's not for me. I've aged out of it, but I don't get it.
Yeah, like I have to be careful with how I get my hair cut. And
oh yeah,
because you
have the actual
I got the curly.
You don't gotta
hair.
get a perm.
Yeah, either I slick it back or I wear a hat.
Yep, you just gotta hide it.
Very rarely do I ever have it just unstyled.
Just hide it.
I'll look like one of those youths of today with the brain rot and the skibbity toilet and the chicken jockey and
oh my god,
and all that.
There's like grown adults doing that, like people in their 20s.
The fact that
listen, I did a lot of dumb shit, but what the fuck are you doing?
The fact that movie theaters have to actually like have the exact moment in the Minecraft movie when the chicken jockey scene happens to prepare because they know people in the theater are going to go ballistic and throw shit everywhere. I don't even know what it is. I don't know what it means. I have no interest in the movie. I've never played Minecraft. All I know is that it's just another instance of our society collapsing on us.
Just like I would just not show the movie. Just be like, screw you guys. Like some of those pictures and some of the videos of the theaters, I know I'm getting old because I'm like, look at the mess. But truly, look at the mess. It's horrible.
It's not even that. Imagine how much money you paid to make that mess.
Right? That popcorn's expensive.
Yeah.
What are you just dropping gold?
Right.
Those same people bought tickets to Fyre Festival too. Are the same people who are throwing popcorn around the theater, the Minecraft movie.
Yep.
What are you doing? You know what? They should just invest in the S&P.
There you go. Invest in the Tua coin, the Hawk Tua coin.
Oh, yeah. I've heard good things about that one.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. She came back.
Real good things about that one.
She's had her comeback.
Did she?
Yeah, she's emerged from hiding and she's doing her podcast again. And I think she's doing something else. But now we're trying to pretend that the crypto coin never happened.
Ah, I see.
After many people.
Well, I mean, we've got enough going on in the world. Plenty of people, I'm sure, forgot.
We got enough scams going on, like
for real.
Fyre Festival.
I got like 3 robocalls today. Hello,
dude. I get the texts. I don't get the. I mean, I don't pick up the phone anymore. So now they try to text me.
Oh, is it like that? Hi, I saw you so and so place. It's like, no, you didn't.
Yep.
You don't know me.
Yeah,
I don't know you.
They were getting snippy with me the other day right off the bat because like the first thing they said, is this Jack? And I just said no, and they did not like that.
Oh hell yeah! Did you have some time to play with them?
I just kept saying no. I just kept responding no. I have. I one day spent.
Oh yeah.
Oh god, like 6 hours. Fucking with some chick she was from like it was a South Korean scammer, and I just kept responding with, in Skyrim, that NPC that works at Bellathor's general goods store in Whiterun.
What does he say?
You walk up to him and he just goes, I work for Bellathor at the general goods store. That's all he like.
Awesome.
He's got like 3 lines, but the one that he says like 75% of the time is the one about the general goods store. And
you just cycled through him.
I cycled through him and I kept interjecting a little bit of Bellathor himself saying, or variants of it saying things like, hey, Bellathor's general goods store is so good. If he had a sister, he'd sell her in a second.
Yeah.
And she was like thinking I'm being legitimate here. And at one point,
I saw your sister.
She sends me a picture of herself, and I've had plenty of these South Korean scammers, so like I know the score here. But she sends me a picture of herself, quote unquote herself, and asks me for a picture. So I sent her a picture of the guy from Skyrim.
Hell yeah! Like, this is me, dude. And you're bringing it back to like old school, like AIM. Like, this is me. Lady from the Kohl's catalog. Not me scanning the Kohl's catalog to be pretending to be one of the models.
I just searched my text. I'm so happy there's a search function in iOS. This happened on January 17th.
It's so convenient.
Of this year. It happened right after your birthday, Nicole.
Aw.
She goes, she asks, she says to me, I always like to learn and communicate with people who work hard. How old are you? I am 37 years old. And I said, thank you. I am old enough to remember when the Empire surrendered to the Aldmeri Dominion. They shamed us all.
They shamed us all. Do you think it might have been like an AI bot?
No,
I think it could have been chatting with an AI bot.
It seemed too dumb to be AI. AI's like,
okay, like, the punctuation was like shitty.
Well, the punctuation was shitty. Like I used ChatGPT recently, and it's gotten a lot better. Like it's
the
more,
M dashes.
even
the M dashes will tell you it's AI.
Even if you go on Amazon and you look at their like the AI summary of reviews, those have gotten a lot better. I feel like
They
just in the
have.
last 2 months. Yeah.
They've gotten and I've looked at them. I'm like, okay, this is what they're saying. And then I'm like, all right, I scroll through some of the comments and I'm like, yeah, that's actually what people are saying. I actually have been using ChatGPT like quite a bit recently for like writing emails and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I never thought about like just like little stupid stuff. I'm tired. It's 9 a.m. Someone's pissing me off. What's a professional way to say, do this yourself? It's great. It's fantastic.
I'm like I could use AI like ChatGPT for so much of the stuff that I do now, and just on like principle alone, I still want to have that human touch to it.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, for a lot of things. Like I'll definitely rewrite it, but I'm like, dude, I cannot deal with this right now. How do I say fuck you in email?
The CEO of my company like is encouraging us to use ChatGPT in our like day-to-day operations, and it reminds me of like way back when we were in school and we would have teachers telling us that like, oh, you're never going to have a calculator with you at all times. You need to learn how to do this on your own. And not only did we then have teachers who like would fail us if we didn't have a calculator, but now we have devices on our person at all times that can do a lot of useful things, including basic calculation.
Way more than that. I can access my bank. I can do all sorts of stuff.
You can play Oblivion.
I could play Oblivion. I can get scammed by someone in South Korea. Like the possibilities are truly endless.
There's a webcomic that I've seen a few times, and I saw it again today, where it's the robot uprising, and there's just some random dude, and one of the robots just goes, "No, save him. He was nice to us." And the last panel is him on ChatGPT telling the bot, "Thank you."
I think I saw I don't know if it was real or anything, but I saw like a headline saying that we're wasting so much energy saying please and thank you to ChatGPT, and that's me.
That is me,
I also go to ChatGPT for like a pep talk. I'm feeling bad. I'm like, can you give me a pep talk and tell me everything will be okay? And it does. It does a great job.
Yeah, I'm always respectful, and I always say, like, I type out complete sentences, and I say please, I say thank you, and it partially is I want the thing to learn, and I want to learn from like the right way to learn, and not just from a complete buffoon. And when the robot uprising happens, when Skynet finally becomes self-aware and takes over, we will be saved because we were nice to them.
That's what I hope. That's what I hope.
It's like in the Walking Dead game. ChatGPT will remember that.
I'm hoping so, man. I'm hoping so. Or at least maybe take mercy on me and make it quick, you know?
I think she was from Singapore. Okay, so maybe not South Korea, because she mentioned she went to LaSalle College of Art in Singapore. And then she says, I asked her, she tells me this because I asked her if she's joined the College of Winterhold.
Oh, no.
And she goes, no, I graduated from LaSalle College of Art in Singapore. Do you discriminate against Asian women?
You're talking Skyrim, bud. It's like, what are you talking about?
I told her.
Do you discriminate against Khajiits? What's up?
Or Argonians? Or
right? The lusty Argonian maid. You got a problem with her?
Aren't the Red Guards usually like heavily discriminated against? Like I do recall a mission in Skyrim, a quest in Skyrim where like you have to protect a Red Guard woman.
Yeah, there's like one city where it's like particularly bad or something. It's been a while since I've played.
She asked if I'm guessing I guess she was asking about the college and not me personally. She said,
yeah.
Do you discriminate against Asian women? And I said, no, although Autronox have a tendency to frighten the locals. And then I told her that you'll be happy to know that Restoration is a valid school of magic. So she
helpful information.
She says, I want to hear more stories about it. Now, mind you, we've been going on for hours at this point, so I texted back. This one is from the Council of Healers at the Imperial University. I sent her an entire tome on Restoration. And then she responds with, are you a robot? And I said, no, I work for Bellathor at the general goods store.
I know, I work for Bellathor, just bring it back. Be like, listen, I told you this already.
And then here, I don't know if you can see when I hold up the camera. She says she wants to see a picture of myself, and I sent her a picture of the dude.
I sent you a pic of me. Please respond.
And then she left me on red.
Ah, man, that always hurts. You know, when you do the face reveal and they leave you on red. What can you do?
Before I shifted into that mode, I was just kind of throwing out random Skyrim lines, and she says, I come from Singapore and currently live and work in Los Angeles. Where are you from? And I said, Rorikstead. I'm from Rorikstead.
From Rorikstead. Love that. You know, you got to find a way to entertain yourself, you know? Life's bleak sometimes. Kanye's losing his mind. Sometimes you just got to chat with a lady from Singapore about Skyrim.
I had fun with that one. And the one I had more recently, I just kept saying no to them until they went away. It was like, I responded and I, well, they kept sending me, it was like day number 3 of them just sending me, hello, is this Jack?
Dang, that sounds like stalker.
Well,
that seems kind of creepy.
Unfortunately, because my father and I have the same name, I get correspondence of his sometimes, and I'm getting scam texts about his house asking if I'm planning on selling it anytime soon, because he's retirement age. He's getting all of the, I get his mail sometimes, and it's all of the come to Ruth's Chris Steakhouse for a free steak dinner and a seminar on retirement planning. And my father, he's already retired, like he's all set. But
yeah, but they're targeting him now.
Yeah, but now they're going after me though. They're stupid and they're going after the wrong person. So
they're just casting that net as wide as they can.
Well, hey, if I want to be a real jerk, I could be like, well, yes, I am thinking of selling this house.
Oh, no.
And I call my parents and be like, hey, guys.
You're out of here.
I got some news for you. You know how you guys want to keep talking about wanting to move to California? Well, those plans might be a bit accelerated now.
Right? It's your lucky day. You're welcome.
It's your lucky 60-day notice.
Yeah, right. Get the fuck out.
Fyre Fest 2. So Billy McFarland, he's told by the officials in Playa del Carmen that he did not secure the necessary permits to hold a full-blown music festival. He says that I did secure the permits. The permit, he only had one permit, and it was to hold a listening party at a beach club for a maximum of 250 people for 4 hours a day over 3 days, and those 4 hours being in the middle of the night. So
that's an interesting time to get a permit. I'm surprised you can get a permit at. Well, yeah, I don't know.
Well, he's a fraudster, and I'm sure he thought that if he just had something, he could write that off and say, I have all the necessary paperwork. And unfortunately, people are a lot smarter than he's giving them credit for, considering he is not smart at all.
At all. Cannot plan to save his life.
He, like, the fact that the balls on him to try this again.
Right? So soon. Like, surely he must have known that everyone would be watching him closely.
Right.
Like, there's no way he didn't know that. So then to just redo all of this just as shittily. What's going on?
Have you gone, because I know you talked about going to Austin City Limits. Have you been to either a festival or a concert that was like, maybe disastrous is an extreme word, but just like it was just awful and you wanted to get out of there, or you ended up leaving early because it was just so bad?
Yeah, thankfully, no. And ACL was done pretty well. I will say, listen, I'm 5 feet tall, so me at a music festival, I'm already at a disadvantage, right? I will say, like, some of the crowds were a little bit tough to be in, but that wasn't like the festival's fault. There's just a lot of people here to see the Marias and Chapel Roan.
Nice.
But there was a moment after Chapel Roan when like the crowd was moving. And again, it might have just been my perspective because I'm short, but like it got a little scary just being like, hey, I'm getting moved and I'm not choosing to move right now. Like,
yeah.
But so thankfully nothing, Fyre Fest level.
That's good.
Yes.
That is good.
Yes. No shitty sandwiches. No FEMA tents.
I remember when we saw Biffy Clyro and you were like yelling because you were short and you couldn't see anything.
I know, I can't see. But it was awesome because like a lot of people who would hear me say that would just like let me in front of them. Like people were usually pretty cool about it for the most part. Some people sucked. But
I always feel bad because I'm about 6 feet tall and I know I could be blocking someone behind me, but it's always my luck that someone will then stand in front of me who is somehow taller than me.
Even taller. It's like, what are you doing?
So I'm going to try that. I'm going to start saying, I'm short. I can't
see. They turn around and they'll look up. What are you talking about? Get out of here, dude. Well, you just go with someone who's short and then just be like, I'm with the short person.
Yeah. Yeah, I should.
I can't choose.
Yeah, you're right. I should do that.
We'll get you the VIP only if people are nice.
You and I will go to a show and I'll try this.
We'll scooch in. We'll try to. Although, listen, I'm old now. I'm not trying to get to the front of fucking anything.
It really depends on the show, to be honest with you. When I went to Riot Fest a few years ago, I was able to get right up to the barricades for several performers, and
nice.
For some of them, like Alexis on Fire, I knew what I was setting myself up for, and got my ass kicked a bit. But
you were at least prepared,
There are other shows, like I saw Jimmy Eat World, maybe a couple months later after Riot Fest, and that was in Providence at the Strand Theater, and Becky and I were to get like right up to pretty much up to the barricade, and that is such a chill crowd
that's awesome.
Like I didn't have to worry about getting my ass kicked or
getting an elbow in the back of the head.
Sure, or even just being old. It just like we were up there, and everyone else around us was all in the same demographic, so like none of us are gonna be going nuts
doing that. Yeah. I had the same thing happen for something corporate at ACL. And granted, it was like 2 p.m. on a Saturday. Like it was hot, but it was all just like women in their 30s, just standing respectfully apart, but still jamming. Like it was vibes.
There's a book that I'm going to say I listened to because I listened to it on the audiobook version of it. That was my soundtrack to my trip in the South. It's called Where Are Your Boys Tonight? It's by Chris Payne, and they talk a lot about it's all about the music you and I effectively grew up with in the early 2000s, and Something Corporate gets its own chapter.
Oh my gosh, I want to type this up. Okay, Where Are Your Boys Tonight?
Yes, by Chris Payne. Yeah, Andrew McMahon gets basically his own chapter where he talks about Something Corporate taking off and then breaking up, and then him getting very sick.
Yeah.
And how that led to the beginning of Jack's Mannequin, and just the impact that his music had on the culture at the time, because it was very unusual, much like how it was unusual for Yellowcard to have a violinist. It was unusual for someone like Andrew McMahon to be bringing out a grand piano on stage and, putting that in the mix.
Yeah. And gosh, I love it. God, I love Andrew McMahon. Sorry.
Yeah.
I love him. I love his stuff. He's so good.
I saw him solo, I think in 2014. And then he opened for, it was Panic at the Disco and Weezer. And,
oh man.
And Andrew, again, his solo act opened for them. And I could hear them. I got there just in time where they were playing, and I could hear them perfectly. But that was like, walking around, getting food and getting drinks. And this is like very, very obscure. But Andrew McMahon in the Wilderness, his big single is called Cecilia and the Satellite.
Yeah.
Which is about his daughter. He has a solo track. I don't think it's part of In the Wilderness. It might be, or it could just be attributed to his name only. But the song is called Synesthesia.
Yes.
They are like the same exact song. And when he was performing, he played them back to back and just segued them into one another. And and who I was with, I told him like, hey, this song, he might have played Cecilia first. And I'm like, this sounds just like this song he has called Synesthesia. And then he goes into Synesthesia.
Goes right into Synesthesia.
He's fucking doing it. Listen to it. And the person I was with was like, oh my, wow, this really is the same song.
You know, I never made that connection, but now I'm going to have to listen to them together. Oh, they're both so good. I love Andrew McMahon. And he was so good at ACL. Oh.
Yeah.
Jumping off the piano.
Yeah. Very animated for someone who came so close to death. He talks about that in the book.
Right. And he looked fantastic.
Yeah.
He looked great, you know, because like you were saying, we're getting older, you know, and he looked great. He had the bleached hair. He had a little scarf on. Like I said, jumping off the piano. I was like, hell yeah, man.
All of these bands, these musicians that we were into, and, you know, growing up and in high school and everything, early adulthood, I mean, these guys are all pushing 50 now, if they're not already.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, the bassist from Newfound Glory, they were posting on social media a couple weeks ago. Their bassist turned 50. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Remember when we were seeing at Gaslight Anthem and it was, what's his name? Mighty Mighty Boss Tones, his like 50th birthday. And we're like, wow, he's old.
That was a decade ago. Yeah.
It was a decade ago. But yeah, I mean, now what is it? Travis Barker's daughter is doing all sorts of shenanigans online. She has her own little nonsense happening. Meanwhile, this guy's still going on tour.
Yeah, she was at Coachella, and that was when I realized that she is an adult now.
Yeah, she's beefing with like Bad Baby or whatever.
Yeah, like what she was like wearing too. I'm looking at this. I'm like, wow, I don't want to look at this.
I don't want to see this. Come on, what are we doing?
Do you remember a band called Echo Smith?
No.
Okay, they're like a family band. It's a group of siblings. They're kind of like Paramore if you bought Paramore at Hobby Lobby.
Okay.
And they're I guess they maybe like a one-hit one in 2014, but they were teenagers when they started. And the drummer has Asperger's syndrome, and the drummer was like incessantly messaging Alabama Barker on Instagram. And this was like 2016, and she was 12 years old at the time, and he was, I think, like 19 or 20. And like even Travis was like, bro, I will find you. And
oh man.
Yeah. That was very awkward. And like Echo Smith is still around, the front woman, Sydney, like she's got a good solo career going on. But anytime like I think of that band, I think of their drummer and Alabama Barker. And it was such an odd thing that happened. And then that's when the family, when they responded to Travis and like apologized for everything, they're like, oh, he's got Asperger's syndrome. Yeah. He just can't like take cues and this, that, and the other thing. I'm like, still legally he's an adult. She is barely a teenager. What are you doing?
Take the cues from the law.
Sure. Or how about we don't give the 12-year-olds social media access? Like,
for real. Right. And you know, part of me is kind of like mean for saying it, but it's like, Travis, your memories of weird musicians coming back at you.
Yeah.
Remember Warped Tour?
Yep.
You remember that stuff?
Yeah.
Oh, is it weird to you now that you have a daughter? Granted, I don't know if there are any allegations. I don't think so. But I mean, we all know about Warped Tour. So. And all of those bands.
And like, this is, you know, we talk a lot on the show about Brand New, and we talk about Jesse and all that, but like every musician has done something shitty or a lot of shitty things. Like,
there's like a lot of stuff coming out about Jared Leto now.
I mean, he just sucks. I mean, I don't like him at all. But.
Like we knew, but like there's even more stuff coming out about him now. I think I saw in the past couple days. Like it's wild.
I'm angry because we're finally getting the third Tron movie, and he is the main character in it. And I'm like, dude, I want to like this. 9 Inch Nails is doing the soundtrack. I want to like this. I don't want Jared Leto anywhere near this.
Right?
Yeah.
I liked him in Blade Runner, but he was supposed to be like a weirdo.
Yeah.
So like it worked, and he didn't have a lot of screen time. So there's that.
I went to this show in Los Angeles years ago, and I think I've told this story on the show many times, but I went to this festival in Los Angeles, the K-Rock Almost Acoustic Christmas, and 30 Seconds to Mars was on the bill, and I left. Like,
because you saw that, you're like, I'm out.
I tried to stomach a couple of songs, and it was just so pretentious and bad that I'm like, I'm just gonna go stand outside.
I'd rather stand in silence.
That's what I did.
Than subject myself to this.
Yeah, a few people would walk by and be like, "Are they done yet?" And like, and even they looked exasperated, like, "No."
Like, he's still going.
And I went back in, like, I think Third Eye Blind then was playing after them, and I went back in for that. And they were phenomenal.
You gotta go back in for Third Eye Blind.
Okay, so we bring up Fyre Fest. The reason why this is coming up is because now that Billy McFarland has now failed twice, but the second time has not nearly killed people as a result. A documentarian named Sean Reck has purchased the IP. Some of the IP, including 2 trademarks for Fyre Festival. And he is creating a music-focused, subscription-based video-on-demand platform. That's a lot of words.
It is.
But it will
a lot of words to say what?
It will be called Fyre. Fyre. And he's...
Okay.
He already has experience in this realm. He has a true crime streaming platform called True Blue. He formed that with Chris Hansen from To Catch a Predator.
Okay.
And he says, quote, just from Deadline, he says, "I needed a big name that people would remember, even if it's attached to infamy. So that's why I bought these trademarks." That's how you do it. That's genius, because that's going to get people's attention. They're going to see Fyre, and they're going to see that logo. I'm assuming he purchased a logo to it as well.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and people are going to flock to this. It's going to be a paid subscription service. It's going to be a fast channel, which you can get on streaming devices, streaming sticks, kind of like Pluto TV, one of those. That'll be ad supported. It will feature user-submitted content leaning heavy in hip-hop and pop. There'll also be an audio-only streaming option. That coming from Consequence. And the cherry on top, unfortunately, Billy McFarland will have some degree of involvement in this new service.
So, like, what if this becomes successful and then he ends up seeing success through this, like, weird meandering route where, like, he didn't even do, like, his failure led to someone else succeeding. And so now that would just be so weird.
That's probably what's going to happen. And there's going to be, like, a lawsuit, and McFarland's going to try to get residuals.
Get more. Yeah.
More than what he's owed. And it's going to be this whole to-do.
More drama.
But at least we have someone who has experience with this. It has the likelihood of working. I'd say a lesser degree of likelihood of success, but it will definitely work.
People hopefully won't die or potentially die.
Yeah. I think, like, if there's like a tiered subscription service, then like one of those tiers should like reward a cheese sandwich in the mail.
Right. Just like really lean into it. That could kind of be funny.
Yeah, have fun with it. If this Sean Reck guy's smart, have fun.
I mean,
with
we
it.
love memes. Like, just go for it.
McFarland seems like the kind of guy who would get like really upset if you poked fun at what happened with Fyre Festival. Like he wouldn't be able to just laugh it off and say, "Oh yeah, I'm stupid."
Yeah, he doesn't seem the type.
Like he wants to prove that he is better than you, that he's smarter than you, and
it was all part of his plan.
And
whatever.
And then stay tuned for Fyre Festival 3, because I'm sure.
Right.
I wouldn't be surprised if he's going to try to leverage this new service.
Do you think so?
A third festival, yeah.
Oh my gosh. If I was this Sean Reck guy, I would have put something in like the contract to be like, you can never do this again. Like, they're done. There are no more festivals.
Yeah.
This is a service.
he can be involved just because McFarland can be involved just because it's his brand name, but there's got to be like a clause in a contract that says if you so much as exist, we can sue you.
Hopefully, I mean, because this guy is bananas. I wonder if it'll work out. I mean, listen, I'm not a businessman. I don't know anything about buying trademarks or anything like that. But gosh, I would not want to be buying something that has such a reputation attached and be like, all right, let's build something from it. Like, oh, what a headache.
Some people do just for the, I guess like the name recognition alone. You see that with retail, like Bed Bath & Beyond. I mean, that was a retailer that failed. I mean, they had a business, but I believe it was Overstock.com is now bedbathandbeyond.com. They bought the name and like the logo and everything, and they rebranded their company. So when
did this happen?
Right after Bed Bath & Beyond as a retailer, a brick and mortar retailer folded.
No shit.
Yeah. So like because that'll happen. The retailer will fold and then they will like continue to exist as like an online retailer. But this was an instance of another company saying, like, hey, we're already pretty well known thanks to like a good advertising campaign that, people know Overstock.com. What if we take it one step further and, go with something that's even more well known than we are? And it was still fresh in people's minds. And you're still buying all the same junk that like Overstock.com sold the same stuff I believe Bed Bath & Beyond did.
Yeah, similar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I know, to be honest with you, I'm upset that place closed. I bought a lot of useful shit.
I loved Bed Bath & Beyond.
I
was like, oh.
Yeah. The one near me was like one of the last ones to close. And it's depressing because like all the other ones that I would go to, all one by one went out of business. And then this one held on by a thread. But that's, if I needed like a vacuum cleaner or like a rug.
A warming gift.
Sure, yeah. Or like weird flavored coffee. I knew I could always find it at Bed Bath & Beyond. So I'm genuinely like upset that that variant of it no longer exists. But okay, we will wrap up this installment of Hardly Focused with just one more thing. But first, let me lead it off with this.
This is the end. Hardly Focused.
The end. So this comes out of Australia. Something happened and the news out there picked up on it, and they interviewed identical twins, a set of identical twins. And the audio includes backstories of what happened. I think it involved like a carjacking, someone potentially either like escaping injury or getting injured. But that like means nothing when you hear the actual interview that happened with the twins. Here we go.
Witnesses are recounting some of the drama that unfolded on the Sunshine Coast this afternoon. Two sisters have told how their mother and man raced to help when the carjacked SUV rolled on Steve Irwin Way, only to find the gun-wielding car thief emerging from the wreck. Here's some of what they had to say.
And one guy, he was up there with our mum, and he went up there and he was coming back down towards us, and he goes, run, he's got a gun. And our heart started to pound, and I said, well, Mum, where's Mum? And poor Mum was stuck up there, but apparently our brave Mum, she goes, are you all right? Because he had all blood all over his face. And he goes, I'll shoot you. She goes, hey, I'm here to help. And Mum distracted him to make him look the other way, and he looked the other way, and Mum ran into the bush behind the fence. And the guy goes to her, I'll find you and I'll shoot you. All I was thinking about when we were running, I hope he doesn't fire. Yeah, we were so blessed.
How close to him do you think you were?
Well, he was up there, and we were past our when driveway. You don't think of all of that at the time. No, you just run for your safety.
My God, are you still talking?
It sounds like there was like an audio issue and there was like an echo or something, you know?
They're just layered.
Yeah, right. And one's just on like a little bit of a delay. I feel bad because that story is scary, but I love the Australian accent.
Oh, yeah.
Mom ran into the bush. Nar. I'm really bad at it. Okay, like we know. But
on Steve
he's got a
Irwin.
gun.
On Steve Irwin Way, no less.
I know. I was gonna be like, how Australian? Of course, it's on Steve Irwin Way. Did you see? I forget his son's name, but he did like an underwear campaign.
No.
Robert. Yeah.
Oh no.
Yeah, he's like 20 or something. He did like some underwear campaign. I'm just scrolling, I don't know, Instagram or something. I'm just like, you were talking about Alabama Barker. I was like, I remember when he was a baby. I'm like, good for him. Great for him.
Yeah,
this is weird.
I just pulled.
Why is he hot?
Wow. Yeah, that is.
He put in some work. Good for him.
Yeah, that's definitely underwear. That
is underwear.
His kids, though, Steve Irwin's kids. I mean, both of them following in his footsteps, and it's almost like watching a carbon copy of Steve. Like, because Robert has been on the Tonight Show a bunch of times, and he's got the same energy as his father. And then Bindi, same deal. She's more like her mother. But still, like they're all very dedicated to their father's craft.
Yeah.
And they're carrying on
the legacy.
Yeah, they're carrying on the legacy for sure. And I certainly hope they are around forever and that they are they are safe and they take the necessary precautions, because Steve was a little bit of a daredevil, and
yeah, he was a little fast and loose about it.
Yeah, I mean, it also sounds like too, it was one of those like
a freak accident.
Yeah, like you just get hit in the right spot, and that does it in for you. It's like when I think it was Damar Hamlin, or was that football player a few years ago that like got hit and like his heart stopped because of where he got hit. It was just like, you could get hit anywhere on your body and you'd be fine. You get hit in that one spot and it's gonna stop your heart.
Oh my God.
He's fine. He was out for a little while. He is 100% fine. But it was a rare instance of a football game being forfeited. Canceled.
Yeah, just because you're like, what the heck's going on? Like, that's wild. Yeah, we're so fragile. Like, and then other people can like fall out of the sky and hit rocks and they're fine.
Sure, yeah.
Life's weird. There's
a very good band called the Dillinger Escape Plan, and their original bassist, his name is Adam Dahl, and he was in it was a minor car accident. It was like a minor fender bender, but he was leaning over to pick up like his like CD case that fell on the floor of the car on the passenger side. And just because of how he was leaning over when the fender bender happened, dude like broke his neck and became paralyzed.
Oh my God.
Or like broke something in his back. Like he's confined to a wheelchair now, and he had to leave the band as a result.
Yeah, just those freak accidents.
Yeah. He can play like keyboards, because I know like when they did their initial farewell show, he performed at it, and was
that's cool.
On stage in a wheelchair playing keyboard, but but it was just such a freak. Like if it was anyone else, if they were just sitting still, they're just sitting still, they would have maybe just jolted a little bit, but like you're in the wrong position
at like the wrong millisecond, and boom.
Yep.
Hug your loved ones.
Yes.
Life is fleeting.
As Warren Zevon said, enjoy every sandwich.
Do that too.
Yeah, I would. I'll go with the sandwich first. The hugging the loved ones second.
Hey, you can do both. Well, it depends on what kind of sandwich.
Hugging while eating the sandwich.
You know.
I think that's something Homer Simpson actually did.
I bet he has. I bet you. Probably on multiple occasions. Come on.
These twins from Australia too. That's like, it's fascinating how their brains work, because they're in sync for most of that interview. Like I've been around people who I called them the pantsuits, They worked at one of the old, when I worked at the video game studio in the office building we were in, there was like some investment firm or something that was,
okay,
the next suite over. And there were these two older women that wore pantsuits every day that would just walk up and down the hall. And one of them would say something like, oh, it's going to be a warm day today. And the other one would just acknowledge and then repeat. You'd be like, oh, it's going to be a warm day today. Oh yeah, warm day. Yeah. Today. Yeah.
Huh.
And that was just the dynamic. That's just how they spoke. I never heard the other one ever say anything that wasn't what the first person just said.
Huh.
But these twins talking, they're doing it like
at the same time,
almost one-to-one. Towards the end, they start to go off the script a little bit, but they just imagine if that's just how they communicate.
Right? I mean, I can't even imagine. I mean, you started out your life together in the womb, right? Like you automatically have this kind of connection that, I mean, who else can even understand it? You can't, right?
Mm-hmm.
I wonder though, I hate being so skeptical, but I wonder if they rehearsed it.
Yeah,
a little
right.
Bit, because I would.
They had a whole script ready to go.
Right? You're going to be interviewed. Fuck it up. It's 2025. Nothing matters.
Nicole, thank you. This is always fun.
Thank you so much for having me. It's always nice chatting with you.
And we will have to talk about
yes,
what may be my second of two trips to Vegas this year.
Vegas trips.
Trips, plural. All right. For the rest of you, thank you for listening. We are Hardly Focused. We'll talk at you next time. See ya. Bye.
Goodbye.
Reminisce may not have happened.
This has been a presentation of the Solid Listen Podcast Network.